welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the bell button to get any further posted videos. Currently I am pregnant with baby number 2 and baby number 3. We have a 10-month-old son, Theodore. He was definitely a planned baby, and these babies were definitely not planned. So today I want to talk to you about that story. I have seen on social media a lot of the time that this is a topic that is hard for women when you make a plan and that birth plan changes. No matter if it's going 1 baby to 2 babies or 1 baby to 3 babies, or if you're in the middle of labor and or you're really close to labor, or if you started labor, whatever, and your plan has to change because of something that is going on with baby or going on with you. I know people have had preeclampsia that wasn't diagnosed, and it was only diagnosed when they were in labor. There's multiple incidences, and it happens quite frequently that women have to change their birth plan to adapt to what baby needs. So this is a video all about that. Getting into it, when we first found out we were pregnant, it was a shock, but it was because it wasn't planned. Theo was 6.5 months, so I was still breastfeeding him. I lost all supply, and that was devastating to me, to let go of that bond that you create. I will be posting a video about Theodore's breastfeeding journey because that was a really tough thing for us, and it took a long time. It took about 3 to 3.5 months to start breastfeeding from the boob, and then my milk ran out, and so it was really sad for me because we only had that bonding time for a short period of time. We weren't really freaked out about having another baby. We're like, whatever, we've already done it, you know, we're gonna do the same thing that we did for Theo. So again, I'm gonna have another video about Theo's birth story. We had a home birth with a midwife and a doula, and it was amazing. We were like, yeah, whatever, we can have a home birth in this new house. We had everything. We had a car seat, we had a stroller, we had crib, like we had everything. And then I found out that we had twins. I had my first ultrasound at 11 weeks. I brought Theo in with me, and I was laying there, and the ultrasound tech was a guy this time, and I've always had women. So that was kind of like a little awkward. That's okay. He was a really nice guy. He did a really good job. He took the Doppler thingy, ultrasound thing, and he was like, oh, okay, so, and he like turned the camera so I could see, and he was like, so here's baby, and I'm like, okay, yeah. And then he moved down, and he was like, here's baby. I was like, no. I just kept saying no. It was the morning, so I kind of thought I was dreaming, because before we had Theo, we really wanted twins. But then after Theo, after you have a kid, you realize how much work it actually is, and it's just like, oh my god, like, no, I don't want twins. I kept like saying no to this guy. I literally was like, no, and he was like, yes. He was just like, yep, you have, yep, it's real, yep. I have like this rush of like, I want to cry because I'm so happy because I've always wanted this, but then also I want to cry because I'm exhausted already, and now I have to take care of 2 new people. I didn't want to cry because it was a guy tech, so then I was like, okay. I was just sitting there the whole time freaking out in my head. I didn't really let it hit me. I was kind of in denial. Maybe it was just shock. It really hit me when I was in the car. I called my friend. Everything that went through my head, I literally just like told her everything, wrote them down of like what my mind went through. Remembering Theo's breastfeeding story. How am I gonna do that if that happens again? How am I gonna do that with 2 babies? Everything that we didn't need before, that we didn't need to spend our money on, especially buying like a new house. Now we had to spend our money on these things. We needed a new car seat. We didn't just need 1 new car seat, we needed 2 new car seats because Theo's still too young to be out of a car seat, so we couldn't use that car seat. We needed a new stroller, a double stroller. We needed 2 new cribs, bassinet. How am I gonna go back to work pregnant, let alone when we have 3 children? Could we handle the income being split? Can I have a midwife? So that was a really big one. The answer is no. I can't have a midwife alone, but my midwife is nice enough that she's pairing with my OB, so all good there. Don't worry about it. We still got her. In that moment, I was like, what am I gonna do? And we can't have a home birth because you're an at-risk pregnancy, just right there, just having twins. I can't have a home birth. I can't have a pool birth. I'm gonna have to feel the ring of fire again. Because when you're in a pool, they say that you don't feel the ring of fire. I didn't have that availability the first time to be in a pool, so I felt it with no drugs, and I don't wanna do it again. So that went through my head. So it's 6 months, like 6.5 months postpartum. Birth is still really fresh in your mind. So it's still really traumatic. Like right now, I remember the pain, but I don't remember the pain. Another thing was, do I need a C-section? Because I didn't know if these babies were fraternal or identical. And if they were identical, then you immediately have to do a C-section. Usually it's recommended because they share everything and they can get like twisted up in their umbilical cord and stuff. I was like, do I need a C-section? Is Theo gonna feel neglected because he's so young and now I can't spend time? Another thing, because, sorry. I'm already okay with the plan that we have, and I don't know why I'm crying. I was like bawling at this time. Can I do it like with 3 kids under 2? Like, can I be a good mom, you know? And then another thing, like, we're in the military, so that's another thing that we have to worry about. If we get posted to another city or another province, because we're in Canada, all of my family's here. I'm gonna have no support at all. Like, how am I gonna do that with 3 kids under 2 with no support, you know? So that was also a thing that had to go through my mind because we're a military family. I also applied for university. I was going to go back to school after Theo was 1 to be an acupuncturist because I really, really enjoy that kind of like holistic kind of medicine. Like it's very intriguing to me. It's very interesting. So anyways, I applied to school and I was like, well, now I can't go back to school. So like that's out the window. So all of those things were literally going through my mind, and I was talking to my friend and I was crying because basically like the whole plan of having a doula, having a midwife, having a home birth, having no drugs just went right out the window in a split second, and it was very hard to deal with. We're good now. We have a good plan. I had a prenatal group with Theo, and I still am in contact with those ladies. Like, we're friends, and so I contacted them because I knew that they would like understand because their sons are Theo's age. They were like talking to me, and I had to call my midwife and talk to her to see if like what's going on. And then when I called my midwife, it wasn't my midwife that picked up the phone, it was her partner. So then I had to talk to her partner, who I didn't know about this. And to her, it was probably like, who is this chick talking and freaking out when it's no big deal to just go from like a home birth to the hospital or to go from a midwife to an OB? It's a big deal to me. Anyways, not the point. Since it was her partner, she couldn't really give me much information. She did say that I would have to be transferred to my OB. So at that point, I didn't know that they could work together because I didn't talk to my midwife yet. That's like a personal choice that each midwife and each doctor have to kind of figure out together if they're willing to partner up. So I didn't know that that was like even like a possibility at the time. So it like freaked me out. But then, by the time that I was done calling and stuff, Shane came home. I had no time to like process by myself because I was on the phone and talking to people about it to try to calm me down. So I had to hide why I was so freaked out because I wanted to make it cute and surprise him and show him a photo because he didn't know we were having twins yet. I showed him the photo, which hopefully I can insert the video here.
Are you looking at the picture?
Yeah. Oh my god, twins? You have twins? Are you serious though?
Yeah. That's crazy. Dude, that's crazy though. This one looks squished.
And he was like so happy. He was so happy, he was so excited. And in that moment, I was kind of jealous of him. Jealous how he could just be so happy, not freaked out at all by this information. And I was standing there just being like, what in the God's name are we gonna do? Like, our whole lives are changing. We need a new vehicle. Like, we couldn't even hold all 3 car seats in the SUV we had. Like, we had to get a new van. All of this, like, money, you know, we're buying a new house that's expensive. At the time, like, it was just like a lot going through my head. Literally after this video, I was like, I just broke down crying. People outside are probably like, what the heck? Because I have this big light. It's actually like 10 at night here right now and I'm recording. So they're probably like staring through the window being like, why is she crying at a camera? I broke down and I told him everything that was going on in my head and everything that's gonna have to change, and he just like told me I was gonna be okay, that I would figure it out. I'm not like an anxious person. I don't have chronic anxiety, and I try. Being military wife, you have to be really adaptable to what's going on. Something can just change in an instant and you have to be okay with it. So like, I'm pretty adaptable there and I'm pretty chill and relaxed. That just like put me over the edge with anxiety. We had a plan and now it's changed, and we already went through it with Theo, so I already knew what I was doing, and now it's like going through it the first time again, where you're just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And so it was a lot. Like, we went from a home birth with a midwife and a doula with no drugs to a hospital birth with an OB and a possible epidural and a possible C-section. It went best case scenario for sure. Like, we're still in the best case scenario, and obviously things can change at any time for sure. Right now babies are doing great. They're good sizes, they're fraternal, so I do have an opportunity to give birth vaginally with no drugs if they're both head down. So there's precautions that we're going to take. As soon as I go into labor, I'm going into the hospital, whereas normally if you've had a baby, you know that you normally wait until you're like, I don't even know, like, is it 511, 411, 5 minutes apart for 1 hour, for 1 minute long for 1 hour stretch, and then you go into the hospital. You're a little bit farther along, right? And if you go in any earlier, they'll probably be like, go home. But as soon as I go into labor, I have to go in, and they have to ultrasound the babies and see if babies are breech, if babies are head down, if babies are horizontal, like what the heck is going on. And that will determine if I need drugs or not. I like to do things without drugs. My past experiences with past surgeries are not good with drugs. My body just metabolizes drugs very quickly, so I don't even know if it's gonna work. I just think if you don't need medical intervention, then you shouldn't have it. Obviously, it's personal preference. Birth is birth. Birth is hard no matter what. Even if you get an epidural or even a C-section, you know, there's different things that each one has, the recovery and everything like that. C-sections completely scare me. I went through birth with Theo without any drugs, and he had shoulder dystocia, I think it's called. That was crazy painful. A lot of people would be like, wow, you're such a brave woman to go through that. I would rather go through that than a C-section, which is wild. It blows people's minds, you know, because epidurals and C-sections are just extremely common, you know, but I definitely want to do it the natural way if I can. My OB luckily is a very, very open-minded man, and he believes that the women should do you kind of thing, right? And I'll step in if I'm needed. And that's the way that he does things, which I really, really like. And that's why my midwife actually referred me to him, because the midwife community knows him very well, because they like to work together, and he's very like women proud kind of thing. And that's one thing that is really hard in the hospital, is a lot of the time your control is surrendered to doctors, to nurses, to the situation. You know, you're told you need this, okay. Your baby needs this, okay. It seems like you don't have a choice, and because it's very fast paced and all that kind of stuff. So it's a different environment than laboring in your home. Doctors are very different than midwives. They're both good. They both have the same education delivering babies. It's just midwives don't have the surgical aspect. So obviously they can't like give prescriptions and they can't do the C-section and all that kind of stuff. But they can do a lot. They're really good usually. You know, there's always bad OBs and there's always bad midwives. I like being in control of what I do when I'm in pain. And I have more control at my house. So that was something that I freaked out about, going from house to a hospital. Also, we're in the middle of, well, we're not in the middle, hopefully we're in the end. At the time, we were in the middle of COVID, and that is just like annoying, you know, to give birth in a hospital during COVID. There's even more things that you can't control. There's even more things you're told that you have no freedom of doing. Anyways, I wanted to put this video out there to share my story, and because I know that a lot of people, like a lot of women, have stories like this where they just have massive anxiety about change and their birth plan, and it's like, no, this is my birth plan. Like, even have you guys seen that movie, What to Expect When Expecting? And they all have different stories. They're all going through the same thing, but they all have different journeys. The one girl, she's like, has to control everything, and she's like, no, have a birth plan, have a birth plan. And then the other one's just like, give me the juice, she says. Give me the epidural. For people, different women, right? But it happens a lot of the time. Comment below on your story and if that happened to you. This is my story, and I just wanted to put it out there. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it to your friends, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you can be in the loop with all of my new videos that I'll be posting every Wednesday. Thanks so much. See ya.